I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I don't care what you are saying.
Number 10. Don't sass the judge. Let's just begin by saying that this case is titled Teen Keyed Girl's Car because she deserved it. Not a promising start, right?
But I was with Michaela the night that she did it.
Your Honor, I actually have the text with Michaela, and she admitted to doing it. She said it was with a dog leash.
We meet former cohabitants, Michaela and Sierra, who come to the court after the former scratched the latter's car. There's a bizarre and slightly tragic story about their living situation, but the part that qualifies this case for our list comes toward the end.
Sounds like something out of Pinocchio and the land of lost children.
Yeah.
Because this is what the case is about. Your best friend was Nick.
Yes.
Your parents asked you to leave. You left.
The judge is sympathetic to the defendant's troubled background and tries to offer her some advice. Michaela interrupts with what she thinks is a smart mouth question.
And the only one who's going to have to live with the miserable life that you're creating for yourself is you.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said you get paid to lecture me or not, so why do you choose to?
Of course, it backfires when the judge replies to her fresh mouth, shutting her up once and for all.
And you look like a reasonably intelligent young woman. You're certainly a nice-looking young woman. You probably have a great deal of potential. You're taking it and throwing it down the toilet. $684. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Number 9. The judge catches a liar. You know how when claimants enter the court, they're asked to take an oath of truth? Well, you should probably be especially afraid of fibbing to this judge.
You're going to tell me a story.
Yes, ma'am.
If it's the same story that you told me in here, I may or may not believe you. Do you understand?
I understand.
She suspects the plaintiff's story is false and gives him several opportunities to come clean. Still, he sticks to his guns, and even his partner backs him up. But it all falls apart when the judge suggests they make a call to the plaintiff's father-in-law.
What is your father going to tell me?
Yes.
That he did?
Yes.
Fine. Let's get his phone number.
That's not necessarily true. Okay?
That should have been his cue to stop talking and take the loss. But he continues to defend himself. Poorly, by the way.
You see how easy it is?
But ma'am, look, because the car was taken,
There's no such word. Listen to me. There's
I'm
no
sorry.
such word as taken.
No matter how well rehearsed your tall tale might be, Judge Judy can always sniff out a lie. Number 8. You can't always help stupidity. We're not entirely convinced that this plaintiff has ever watched Judge Judy before.
Well, listen, if you chose to be a schlemiel and live that way, that's your issue. She chose not to be a schlemiel.
She did live that way.
Your Honor?
You're not, hey!
He's arguing that his ex won't return or pay him back for a tractor, while she's counter-claiming that he owes her for a truck. To make matters worse, the defendant kicked him out of the house after he embarked on a relationship with her best friend.
You left.
Not willingly.
Well, you didn't expect her to live in a situation where you had a more than friendly relationship with her best friend.
Luckily, the judge was there to serve justice and highlight the plaintiff's stupidity. Well, actually, she doesn't have to do much. The plaintiff pretty much confesses to his own idiocy.
Just a second, that's what we're talking about. She says,
And the house that I paid for that she's still living in.
really? Are you really that dumb to put a house in her name?
Yes.
Just a second.
Judge Judy just sums it up really neatly.
Listen, there are certain things that you can't help, and one of those things, Mr. Wallen, is stupid. I can't help you.
Number 7. Do you want the TV or not? In this ridiculous argument between exes, Judge Judy has her patience tested by an aggravatingly stubborn litigant. All she wants to know is, does he want his television back? But his replies suggest this argument isn't even about the item.
Is it still in your living room?
Yes.
And still functioning?
Yes.
And you want it back?
No, I just want to get compensated for
No.
the reason why.
No.
Why not?
There's nothing complicated about her question, which only warrants a yes or no answer. However, the plaintiff insists on deflecting or posing his own questions so incessantly that we just want to bang our heads against a wall.
Do you want the television back?
Is she gonna fix that too?
No. Do you want the television back?
I need to get compensated for it.
All right, so then we're done with the TV.
Just as we think it's finally settled, the whole thing starts again over a computer. Clearly, this guy was confident he would win, and he refuses to go down quietly.
Well, you should run it on the computer upstairs.
No. That's not my computer.
I don't care.
No. And these are the programs that I had.
She can't do anything about that.
Yes, she can.
Jeez, man, just stop talking. Number 6. What's rocket science? Oh, the internet. It's a cesspool of embarrassingly dumb moments people can never live down. And indeed, this is one of those.
I saw Jen crouching down by the pool with her iPhone in her left hand, but I didn't see her iPhone. I came at her.
You told me you saw her crouching down with her iPhone in her left hand, but you didn't see her iPhone.
The plaintiff asked for reimbursement after her friend playfully pushed her into a pool while she was holding her iPhone.
I felt awful after it happened.
Well, you felt awful. That means you pay for it if you feel awful.
Well, I mean, it was the atmosphere of the party. We were all pushing each other in.
She didn't push anybody in.
No.
Grow up.
You don't need a background in law to figure out the fairest solution here. Or in Judge Judy's words, it's not rocket science. After all, what is rocket science?
Rocket science is when the scientists find out things about space. I think.
We don't know whether to laugh or go, "Aw, honey," or sit her down with a Rocket Science for Dummies book. The audience chooses to laugh, leading the woman to timidly rethink her answer. Sometimes silence is golden. Unfortunately, she learns that the hard way. Number 5. Nothing gets past the judge. You know what sets Judge Judy's court apart from any run-of-the-mill courtroom? It's on television. This means everything you say and do is recorded, and that little weird thing they attach to litigants at the beginning is a microphone.
You are not getting anything. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Get the dog.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
What did he just say?
Wait here.
Excuse me?
I didn't say nothing, Your Honor.
I want to know what he just said.
Clearly, this guy didn't get the memo because he rejected the judge's ruling under his breath.
That you would be bound by this court's determination. When I ruled that she got the dog back, what you said was, she's not getting the dog.
Did he forget that he was mic'd up, or does he not know how a microphone works? Either way, he awakens the judge's beast mode, and she reminds him of the contract he signed before appearing on the show when the case later gets recalled.
We have a contract.
Yes, Your Honor.
You and this program. You abide by my decision, or we do a zippity-doo-dah for you, including getting you home. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you ask us, he got off lightly, but his idiocy will forever live in infamy online. Number 4. Guess who's not coming to dinner? This case involves 2 sisters and a deer who was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
She wanted to go to the store. There was an accident. It was unavoidable. She hit a deer, damaged the car, and her defense is you should have had better insurance. Is that your defense?
The defendant hit the poor animal while driving her sister's car and followed up with arguably the most rational decision. She waited for the authorities to, oh no, wait, she decided to eat it?
Is that true?
Yes, ma'am, and she even offered me some, but I'm not having rigor mortis stew.
It did not have rigor mortis, so I went back.
At least she was kind enough to offer her sister some, but we guess she just doesn't have a taste for rigor mortis stew. This whole exchange is hilariously unhinged, and we don't know how everyone got through without collapsing in fits of giggles.
You know, we talked about it and looked at everything, but then the next morning she come over there just hollering at me, banging on my door, telling me how I owed her and all this, and I've helped her with a lot of stuff in the past. And
maybe they feared they'd end up with a dinner invitation too. Number 3. Attack of the Tupperware. Karina Roy, also known as Tupperware Lady, has become somewhat of a Judge Judy icon.
And threw all of her Tupperware on me.
She didn't throw all of her Tupperware on you.
Yes, she did. Yes,
How did
she did.
Miss Roy, you're standing there, so what you're telling me, she took out each piece of Tupperware from the cupboard and threw it at you?
We're not sure exactly where she thought she was, but it can't have been this judge's courtroom. Her animated storytelling is so incompatible with the tale she's weaving that we can hardly believe our ears.
Then she kept standing there and screaming, you know, how dare you, and don't you dare, don't you even dare, Karina, shame on you, shame on you.
Her tone is unnecessarily dramatic, and every detail is accompanied by theatrical arm gestures. And over Tupperware. Who knew that containers could be the source of such drama?
She's leaning her whole body into me, pointing her finger in my face. How dare you? Don't you even dare. Shame on you. That's it. I want you out of here. And she hit my head with her finger.
The audience is clearly amused, but the judge most certainly isn't. Did Roy really think Judge Judy would be swayed by her dramatics?
Anna stood up and said, hey, and looking directly at me, and said, hey, the babies. The babies.
Way to make the most of your 15 minutes of fame, eh? Number 2. Loserds. Just a little Judge Judy 101. When you pay this courtroom a visit, you check your attitude at the door.
Do you get it? Do you get it? They're manipulative. She's a problem. Your daughter is a problem.
Unfortunately, that's not what this defendant chose to do, bringing the metaphorical gavel down on her own head hard. Throughout the case, the litigant repeatedly proves that she's not the brightest bulb and has somewhat of a temper.
We were being dumb, and then he confronts two tiny women in front of the house while him, and it wasn't 3, it was like 5 or 6 of his friends.
Still, you have to commend her on her unwavering determination to sway things her way. She sees nothing wrong with her behavior, which included cussing out the plaintiff and his friends. Remind us why again?
Because they're losers.
Her post-case confessionals don't do her any favors either.
I don't think this is a fair justice.
We won. We got what we came here for, so it's all that matters to me.
He can take his poor $4 grand because she doesn't work and go friggin' have fun with.
Number 1, a premature confession. Being a judge means making a lot of tough calls, so it must be nice when the litigants do some of the heavy lifting once in a while.
Give me what was stolen?
My wallet.
What was in your wallet?
It was $50.
Okay.
I had to replace all my IDs. I had gift cards in there.
This infamous case sees the plaintiff, Ginny Paradesa, accuse the defendants of stealing her purse. She provides the judge with a list of stolen items, unexpectedly assisted by one of the men who's denying the theft.
My earpiece and a calculator.
There was no earpiece in the mail.
I love it.
Yes, that's what you heard. The defendant corrects the plaintiff's account and basically hands her the win. There aren't many moronic moments that elicit laughter from Judge Judy, but she just can't help herself.
Judging for the plaintiff for the amount of $500. That's what I think it's worth, madam. Goodbye.
The case is decided incredibly quickly after this, but these two were branded Dumb and Dumber for a lifetime. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.